A few days ago, I saw this video on social media, and ever since, I just had this urge to point out the absolute ridiculousness of it. So I'm going to play the video, and then afterwards, I will address everything the person mentioned in the video. So let's watch.
Have you noticed that there are two Americas right now? One that is obsessed with and the other is about God, family, community, freedom, and minding our own business.
What an absolute joke. And the most concerning part about this is that the average conservative Republican or MAGA extremist has the exact same perspective. So let's start to unpack here. Masks and the poke. Okay, so she's obviously referring to the COVID-19 vaccines and face masks. Okay, first and foremost, this once again greatly emphasizes the GOP's absolute rejection of science and facts. So she's indirectly saying that the Democratic Party is the party that embraces science and is obsessed with protecting the health of the public. Wearing a mask and getting your vaccinations are recommended public health guidelines to protect yourself and those around you. I just can't see what's wrong with this. And also, this rejection of science can also be seen with other issues, such as climate change. And then thirdly, we have sexuality. Okay, so she's most likely referring to LGBTQ individuals. And I can say with absolute confidence, yes, we are obsessed with protecting the rights of the LGBTQ community. We are obsessed with advancing LGBTQ equality and using education as a vital tool to root out systemic homophobia. And yes, we are obsessed with preserving the rights and freedoms of LGBTQ Americans by protecting and preserving the right to freedom of expression. So once again, what exactly is the issue here? Then fourthly, she mentions abortion. Yes, we are obsessed with defending reproductive freedom and improving access to abortion as well as contraception. Why are we so obsessed? Because women should be able they should be able to control their own bodies. Period. End of story. And then she also mentions pronouns. Okay, so we all have pronouns, whether it's he, him, his, she, her, hers, they, them, and so forth. To me, this is simply a matter of respect. If you don't respect the preferred pronouns of another person, well, that's your problem. But I'd like to move on to BLM, which stands for Black Lives Matter. And this is actually very interesting. So we are obsessed with protecting the lives of African Americans. You know what? This actually underscores the position of the Republican Party. Republicans won't even recognize the existence and enduring presence of systemic racism within every aspect of society, whether we're talking about healthcare, housing, income inequality, or policing. The Republican Party openly condones, not condemns, condones racism and white supremacy. That's just a fact. I mean, don't you think it's strange that the Republican Party, for example, only has one African American senator? And if we were to take a look at voting data back in 2020, President Biden won 90% of the African American vote. This should tell you something. Unfortunately, in the eyes of conservatives, MAGA extremists, and Republicans, anything that promotes inclusivity, diversity, or equality is considered a bad thing, which really isn't. But anyway, then we have feminism. Yes, we are obsessed with women empowerment and advancing gender equality, as well as protecting the rights and freedoms of women. Once again, what exactly is the big deal? I just can't see the problem. Then I would like to address the final two. Let's start with censorship. Right-wing extremists are known to spread false information, disinformation, misinformation, and right-wing conspiracy theories. It is absolutely essential to use censorship as a tool to identify and prevent falsehoods and lies to spread. It can also be used to crack down on hate speech. So censorship isn't really a bad thing. Conservatives and Republicans hate being the victims of censorship because they hate being held accountable for their hate speech and lies. And then finally, the last one is rather extremely ironic: government control. At this point, we've seen that the party of so-called small government is anything but small. What kind of small government bans books? That seems like a characteristic of fascism, if I'm being completely honest. Republicans want to control what you can and cannot read. This is, in my opinion, a First Amendment violation. And also, what kind of small government wants to restrict and ban abortion on the federal level? This is a complete violation of the right to privacy and bodily autonomy. And then finally, I'd like to gradually end this speech by briefly telling you what kind of country these fascist MAGA extremists want to live in. Okay, so before I start, she ends her video by saying that, well, let's play the clip again, shall we?
And the other is about God, family, community, freedom, and minding our own business.
Okay, so let me tell you what she's actually saying. People like her want the US to be a Christian, nationalist, fascist country rooted in white supremacy, misogyny, homophobia, Islamophobia, and xenophobia. The country they want to live in is a country where LGBTQ people are hunted down and killed for being themselves, where same-sex couples can't marry, and where women can't control their own lives. She also mentioned that they are minding their own business. Are you sure about that? Because that is exactly what you're not doing. They are the ones attacking the lives of others. Democrats aren't stopping Republicans from living the way they live. Republicans are attempting to prevent other people from gaining access to abortion. They are the ones trying to ensure that other people, LGBTQ folks, can't get married, and Republicans are the ones banning books to prevent other people from reading the books they don't like. So are they really minding their own business? I don't think so.